Whew. Taking a stroll. Greetings, peace. Greetings to all. I just want to remind you all, it's safe to be yourself. It's safe to be you. I feel like the most deepest thing that we battle with personally, I know I've battled with personally, is being safe again. Feeling safe again. Let me get past this building or whatever it is making all that noise so y'all can get this message clear. Because we deliver for you. And that's what I'm doing. So, yeah. Let me get this out. Man, taking a stroll. And, I think it's very challenging for a lot of us to want to ignore, depending on the demographics. One thing I had to become very aware of is how unsafe the environments I was in, but also how unsafe I was for other people. Yeah, full circle moment here. Walking, I had a little moment where I teared up because I had a lot of childhood things coming up, realizing like how important the home environment has been for me. And when I deeply reflect on it, it's a part of me letting go of the idea, of the energy, of the people, of the places, of how consistently I have seen environments where I was unsafe as a child. And then I seen consistent dysfunction. And I feel like a lot of things what blocks a lot of us is that we're so used to seeing that, and it plays out in our minds that where we don't think that we can have something beyond that. Like I said, one of the biggest things for me was coming back home to myself. Coming back home to feeling safe and secure again. Again, seeing consistent disruption in the home environment. Not really seeing people who know how to feel safe with what they have. And what I mean by that, it starts from the emotion, not feeling safe spiritually, and there's different things that I've talked about, like whether it's trauma related, like not feeling safe to, I gotta get that stuff out. Like, this is a great message. Not even feeling safe to, like, want to share my truth. And I come on here with the authenticity of just, I don't have to hide from myself, so I don't mind sharing my message. I can honestly say that, again, from environments, from childhood to adulthood, there's been a consistency. And this is just different levels of not feeling safe as a little boy, beginning with my mother, then my grandmother, then other people, whether being bullied, whether being verbally or physically abused, and then seeing the importance of how much I carry that into now being aware how much it has really taken a toll on myself, mentally, emotionally, physically, and even the people who I've been around, whether I repressed it, suppressed it, until it came out on people that I cared about. And I feel like the biggest key to all of this is so I can tell a lot of you, especially as younger men, depending on what you grew up in, are you really safe for yourself? One of the toughest things that I did not want to accept, has been very huge for me, is the home environment. And how I was being guided to be led home to myself. What do I mean by that? I realized that I did not feel safe for so long, or feel secure within myself. Like I didn't feel. I've seen so much of the instability and consistency to where it's like it took me almost over 35 years to feel safe again. To feel safe, to feel I can be secure enough to even be stable. You're talking about so many years of not being in places. Some of us not even being around people who are stable, being around people who are mentally, emotionally, physically unstable, or imbalanced in so many ways. And so it's like we're asking of them to give us stability, give us mental and emotional stability, when they've never seen it consistently. Yeah. So for me, that's been one of the most toughest shit that I had to acknowledge as a man of, well, why I get here, or why is my money looking like this, or why don't my, why can't I sustain this, or why can't I maintain this? And I'll be blatantly fucking honest with you. I've never seen it consistently. And one of the most challenging things is that I've not having role models, not having, not just role models, but not seeing that example physically, consistently, has mirrored back to me when I have to be the one to take accountability of why my life looks the way it looks. Meaning that I'm no longer going to scapegoat through what my mom or anybody else done. I had to realize, like, yo, you have the opportunity to take full responsibility. You're at a place now, you're fully responsibility for yourself, your emotions, what you do, and so forth. Again, I didn't have that as well. When you don't have role models, when you don't have people, what you see with a lot of youth that don't have a lot of discipline, didn't have a lot of discipline, and they go out there and do things, and guess what ended up happening? They end up going out doing things, and by the time things, hit the fan, it's a little too late. How you doing? And by the time things hit the fan, it's a little too late. That's why you see the prisons filled with a lot of things, because again, the importance of just not just a father, but also the mentor, the men, people holding. I'll be honest, I didn't have people holding me accountable. I had to learn how to be really seriously accountable for my life after 30. I'll be the first to tell you as a man. So don't ever think just because I'm presented or looking presentable on a camera. No, bro. That shit I'm still learning. To realize, like, oh God, I'm responsible for that? Yeah, that's the thing about lessons. Everyone's going through things where things come back around when you are faced with the reality, like, yeah, you're responsible for that, right? You're responsible for that, right? Are you going to keep on doing it? So yes, I did not have people holding me accountable. Not consistent. So now, some lessons may come when you have a child, or when you have, you're going through some type of turbulence. You're going through, for some people, like homelessness or a transition. And you're like, man, well, why didn't my mom or dad teach me this? Or why didn't I learn this? And you know what? That's one of the most toughest things. That's one of the most toughest things, transitioning, where we're so easily judgmental, or easily trying to judge a person, whether you see them out on the street going through something. And do we ask ourselves? Do we really ask ourselves? Or do we even care? Because again, you're talking about a society of people that don't have compassion. That's been so disconnected from the internal world that we don't care enough to know what that person has went through. We just automatically like, tell them go get a job, go do this, and do this. Don't care about their well-being and so forth. I wouldn't do anything differently. I just realized lessons have shown me, or life has shown me, that approach life differently. I didn't have no one show me the accountability of the importance of emotions. how to navigate them until there was moments where I got into certain relationships, I got into things, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's moments where I ended up in jail because of my impulsiveness, because I didn't know how to navigate emotions. There's incidents where, let's say, you come into, like when I was younger, come into, a windfall of money, or, some of us go to school. Well, we haven't seen someone consistently go through college and finish. We don't know much about that. We're just going for the experience. I went for the experience. You get your little financial aid check, boom, bow, bing, 5, 6, 7 grand, depending on what type of school you go to. You don't know money management. You're not held accountable for that stuff. No one was teaching you the discipline in that. Yeah, real life. I be giving y'all real life spiel because we automatically want to look on the outside. We're so easily judging from the outside looking in rather than from the inside out. Not truly trying to connect to ourselves and then connect ourselves to them. No one says you have to be attached. But that's the thing, I'm like, whoa, like man. Like I said, taking this walk, I got emotional. Because things be hitting me and I'm like, well, dang, why couldn't I have known this at 25 and I'm 35? Why do I need it? But it gives me an opportunity now to approach it differently, to see things differently, to move differently, to move strategically, surgically, to move with a different awareness. They can't say I didn't know, I didn't get that insight, I didn't get that clarity. And what that saying goes, if you know better, you do better. So yeah, I do not proclaim to have it all together. Nah, like the great Nipsey said, I had to go through every emotion. That's why I had to feel and go through what I needed to do just to even come here. So my message is to empower y'all that are going through moments. Some people are going through things that they never thought that would happen to them. Whether a transition of a loss of a loved one, transition of things unexpected, transition of like housing. It's a lot of stuff. But we are in a society so quick to judge people rather than support. And even in any way. I was telling someone, I met some amazing artists, shout out to them. And everything ain't always got to give materialistically. You can come and encourage someone. You can come record something and post it on social media. That's an exchange of currency. What I'm doing right now is an exchange. This, knowledge and wisdom, this is an exchange of energy. Instead of going out there and feel like I got to fuss with someone, I'll transmute it, alchemize it, give it here to encourage y'all. Wherever you are, if you're here, you're able to see this message. It's never too late. It's never too late. I'm going through some shit right now, and I got to tell myself it's never too late. I still got to get creative. I still got to be innovative. I still got to believe, But the biggest thing for me, for a lot of us that we want to ignore, we didn't feel safe growing up. That was the biggest thing for me. How you doing? That was the biggest thing for me is, the safety thing. I think I speak for a lot of young men that are probably darker too, because of the demographics. Because of not just demographically speaking, but also due to, just being in a country where, you're judged by your skin color, or you're judged by how you wear your hair, you're judged by where you live. It's so many things. And again, pioneering this fucking path, it ain't for the faint of heart. It's not. When you have to speak the fact of like, I've had to navigate through environments and places where I can easily be profiled. I can easily be judged if I don't dress a certain way. I can easily, there's so many things where you're talking about a spiritual warfare where I have to have the courage to make videos through neighborhoods that are not really, as supportive to people that look like me. I'm not saying you go do it. I'm just saying, like, it takes courage. because I realize I'm learning to realize, like, to feel safe again. I'm able to do something that some of my ancestors weren't able to do. I'm able to do something that that you have to have the confidence. Again, the safe thing has been big for me because, let me sit on this rock. The safe thing has been big for me because of it really plays a major role, not just emotionally, me learning to feel emotionally secure and safe again, but that also plays a role in your finances, your spiritual well-being, and your physical well-being. I know this may be new and sound strange to a lot of y'all, but let me just say this, reference this. If you are in a country like this where you've seen things play out where when it comes to certain people trying to obtain certain things, and somebody more darker may get questioned more. They may be profiled quicker than someone else that is of a lighter shade, that is typically, as some would say, or in this world or in this country, that are more susceptible to certain success or certain resources or whatever. So, the thing with me is, like, I find a way of bridging the self-hatred or racism to let y'all know, like, yo, it is very challenging and have to be very challenging when you're trying to pioneer certain things, when you're trying to do something that's never before seen, or even if it is, it's still not the same. Someone else may did it, but they didn't do it like me. So again, that safety, I realized that I'm learning to be restored with, and that security is that it was even challenging for me to feel like, well, if I move to this neighborhood and I will I feel I can get this home, but do I really feel safe in this community? Do I really feel safe with the people who are not supportive of people that don't look like them or look like me? See, that's a big thing, a big energy, a big thing around what it is to mean to feel safe, just even as a darker person. I don't care where you live. I don't care a celebrity or nothing, because I know people. It's just, some of them, how you doing, man? Some of them, it's like, someone was telling me the other day how, and I see this so much, people don't even realize how deep their programming is because they're so comfortable in the country. People that are a lighter shade, and they don't even realize how deep this programming is. They feel safer in certain demographics where they are, what they built, and immediately will judge people that are darker and don't even realize the inner critic within them is so focused on being comfortable. And now you see the uncomfortability of now people being forced or things shifting, where people are moving in certain places, where people are coming about in certain things and building things, which has always been like that outside of color. It's, the human race, but I touch bases on what the energy and what has been playing out. So again, there has been a thing talking with someone I know, like, she is lighter, and she is like saying how women that look like her, there's for not all of them, but for some of them, they have no depth to them. It's like they hide behind this facade of being in so much of like, well, I have this, I'm well off, and this, and that's just it. There's no depth to them. There's no nothing. And then she was like, well, when I'm around some women that are darker, for some reason, and I feel like, I guess that's because she's more in tune with herself, she's like, I feel safer because they're more authentic. And I'm like, yo, that's interesting. You should definitely talk about that. But that's a whole nother subject. What a lot of us that probably has never been said, and I'm gonna be the first to say it, as a darker man in the States or just going anywhere, a lot of us, I'll be the first to say this, are learning to what it is to feel safe again. My message I be bringing, especially to my darker women, is because people don't realize how much fear-mongering, how much is being projected out there for us not to feel safe to even obtain, to even be who we are first, to even live a certain place, to even have a certain amount of money, to even be who we are abundantly. 10 of Pentacles energy. That's what a lot of us are being restored with in the confidence. You know, the confidence to walk that walk and talk that talk unapologetically, because people want to ignore the fact, or they no longer can ignore the fact of what has happened in the countries and around of people that are darker. And so with that, it's okay to let people be avoidant of you. There's no more hiding, because what would be revealed is that you will see who's not supportive or who's not a part of what you are creating. And you know, that's one of the toughest things that I had to learn as well, is accepting that people are not, what's for me won't miss me. And, you know, some people just want to be a part of something just to be a part of it, rather than being supportive, you know, genuinely supporting. And there's more and more I want to get on this topic, but that's one of the most valuable things that I had to realize I was learning, even in this vessel, is to feel safe again. Even outside of just being a darker man, it's just to feel safe and secure to obtain what I am here to do. Not living in fear just because someone don't like me because of the color of my skin. Not living in fear just because someone feel like I should not have the success that I have. Not living in fear or watching or looking over my shoulder just because, you know, I'm in a neighborhood that doesn't particularly like people that are darker, or I'm in a country and so forth. Nah. I'm not here to create a world like that. And for a lot of you, you don't have to live like that. So I just want to drop that gem. It's okay to feel safe again, because a lot of you have ignored that. Depending on your demographics, depending on where you at, you'd be surprised how many people who don't look like me, they hide it so well that they don't feel safe within themselves, and more so how people are coming into that awakening of who they are. So that creates an unsafetyness inside of them. Like their safety net has been removed. For some people, their safety net is money. For some people, their safety net is their community. A lot of things. But the overall energy, what's happening right now in this Aquarian age, that fucking safety net, that veil has been lifted. Because it's going to be a deeper thing now on a soul level, where you're going to recognize authenticity. Like, I don't have to apologize for being me. I'm me. Outside of what you see on the outside, I'm me, regardless. Peace and blessings. Shalom.